Hey everyone. I was going to work on the coal mine since I got the mountain built, but I think because all my controls are right here, this last little area has just been bugging me. So I'm going to work on the station, freight dock. I'm going to have to scratch build a warehouse because I'm literally out of buildings. And I'm making a passenger dock or ramp up here, and I'm gonna make a little ramp that'll come down and come across to this depot. So let's get going. Let's see how this all turns out. I'm gonna have to scratch build about everything on it. So let's just see where we go, and I'll give you some close-ups once I'm further along with it. Okay, here's what happens when you get old. You get busy thinking and doing stuff, and you forget to talk during a section. Anyway, what I'm doing is going down this dock. And if you wonder why I use like 2 cups of glue, is I didn't want to get the ballast or gravel down and then try to poke holes to line up with every post. So instead, I float the glue thick, set the dock, and now I'm going to get the ballast, use a card here, and kind of let the ballast slide up underneath it. And that way the underneath of the dock is covered, and it was much easier than, like I said, trying to line up all those holes when you mount a dock, whether it's flat or in the water, is a nightmare. So this is the cheap, easy way out. And I thought, just since it was right next to the rail, I'd just use the same rock that I did ballasting with. And trying not to knock it out of the place. And I think I bumped it like 3 times doing this. Had to realign it. But there it is. Okay, here's my little raised platform. Now I make wood all the way across here, a platform walk, and then this is where the station will be sitting. Okay, so the station is going to sit right here. What did I do with the station? It's going to sit right here, and that walkway will come to the station. Here's the loading docks. Down here's will be the warehouse. I'm gonna make this the parking lot and a road coming in. And I think we'll make this is just gonna be asphalt. Now I've pre-cut all this, and I'll show you here. And I only can have the thin wood in certain lengths, so I'm having to add 2 pieces here at the end. I'm sure I'm gonna have to kind of smooth it. And I had to cut out some of the edge of the ballasting and the landscape that went up so it kind of level out. But let's get a look and see how this goes down. I want to use a little bit heavier glue. And I'm also gonna have to weight it because this board, I soaked it and bent it, but it's still warped just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to weight it down. something I wanted to point out, here in the Philippines, they have a wood glue, but it comes in like a tub, and it's thick. It's just almost kind of like putty. In fact, I'll grab one and show you real quick. Now this is their, what do they call it? Stick well. And it is, basically it's like yellow wood glue, but you can see it's in a bag, and it's real thick. And you just about got to put it on with a putty knife. It sticks in place better. And then I also want to show you, I know you guys are seeing me use this out of the Elmer's glue bottle, but that's long gone. And the glue here, this Apollo white glue. Now, I actually like this better because it's thicker. You can always thin glue down. It's hard to make it thicker. So I don't know, it just for different applications, it kind of feels real good. This glue is gonna, I better use this one. And my Elmer's wood glue that I brought from America is just about all gone. I don't know if I can take that stick well and make it thinner. Now I said I kind of pre-cut all this, beveled the edges here so that it's just a little bit below the rail. Wait on there. Like I said, I am sure I'm going to have to use some plaster or something, kind of smooth out. But that's okay. And I had to sand this little piece down a little bit thinner just so it would be below the rail. All of my rolling stock has those Rapido, generic couplers, so they don't have anything that sticks down. But if I should ever upgrade, which I doubt that I will, I'm going to have to find something to put on there to hold that in place. Anyway, if I ever upgraded to Microtrains couplers or KDs, I didn't want to have a problem with the clearance, and hopefully I won't have, but like I said, I honestly doubt that I ever get around to upgrading my rolling stock. You know, it gets, when you've got 60, 70 cars, it doesn't take long for that to become expensive. It's not gonna work. Let's trade weights here. Good old stick wheel. Okay, we'll let that dry. I think this is actually gonna all be asphalt. I hadn't decided if I want to do the concrete or asphalt yet. But we'll let all this dry. Maybe by then I'll make my mind up and get that painted. Then we'll work on getting the depot wired up and put in. Alright, here's my asphalt. I had to make a little road that comes over because the people had to come from somewhere. And there's the loading dock, and it's going to ramp down to the front dock area of the warehouse. It'll sit right there. And I've got my lights set the right height installed for what I'm doing here. The depot is going to fit just like that. And then the control tower shed will sit there. And then I'll make walkway to finish going to the depot on that side. And then I'll finish cleaning all this up, landscaping it, and let's see what it looks like. All right, we're gonna start with this little guy. Put a flat clear coat. Trying to just spray the branch ends. Put something in there. Kind of see where we're getting with it. Need some on at the bottom. There you go. There's your little.
How do you see it, my phone?
Now we're going to do a little different on this one. We'll show you another technique here. When we get it covered about like we want it, then we're going to take Now I'm gonna take some light sand color, just a tiny bit. I'm gonna put another coat of spray on it.
How about this?
And then you can see we don't want to cover it. We're just going to put a few sprinkles. And you can do this with a lighter green, a darker green. And you probably can't see it in the video good, but it gives a little bit of a two-tone look to the tree. Well, all right, got a little static grass done. Now, this depot, again, maybe 40 years old. I can remember building it, so maybe it's only 30 years old. It was just a nightmare. It didn't fit good, and it's really designed back when you just set the buildings on the grass paper, you know. Originally, you can see that there's a little lip, or was a little lip on that side and this side. I think it's supposed to sit level with the track, and that would butt right up and be about car height for passengers to step out on. Well, you use cork road bed, that jacks it up, ballasting. So I really couldn't get it next to the track and be elevated without a whole lot of work. And so I just built me out of little scrap pieces of wood, built a little deck that run down that side that's raised up. And it looks all right. And it fits. Train doesn't hit it. Comes close, but didn't hit it. And my little signal tower control box, got it all put in. I am running out of my static grass. I'm gonna have to order some, and here in the Philippines, there's just no hobby shops. So the static grass I'm ordered is coming out of China, and of all the websites and all the posts for static grass, not a single one of them tell you if it's 2 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 10 millimeter, there's nothing. It just says static grass. So I've ordered some, have no clue how big it is. Okay, we're gonna plant some trees right in here and see if that doesn't kind of help break this scenery up. Now these guys, I want to show you these first. These are actually some pretty decent looking. I can't even tell you where I bought these at, but it was on eBay, and they're not a bad looking little tree, and it is all plastic. And this one was kind of the same thing. It's just not a bad looking tree for a all plastic tree. Now these pine trees, I know everybody in the world has got a video on how to make pine trees. And this one's got a little wood stick, and you can see the fiber bottom in there. And I got these on eBay. This was before I learned how to make trees. And come to find out, the guy where he buys these, it's a little lady here in the Philippines that makes these and sells them strictly to him. Anyway, nice little tree. And then we got our little collection of trees over here that we just finished making. And we'll mix a few of these in. I tell you what, I love using foam board. When you got 1 inch, 2 inches of foam, it sure makes planting trees easy. You know what the hardest part about putting a tree in foam board is when you get your little hole poked, you put the tree in it, you realize you didn't poke the hole straight up and down. Not a problem with my homemade wire trees because they bend. But you can't bend these plastic trees, and that wooden one, I'd break the stick off of it. You look to the right and to the left, and then you think, what the crap was I thinking when I put that there? So now I know you guys have all seen, if any of you have watched any kind of YouTube videos of other guys, I mean, some of you guys got channels, you just do everything. But there's a fella named Luke Town, and I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He does great work. I don't know how he has time to do anything else, because every project he does is so finely detailed that it's just, you know, it's mind-blowing how many hours he spends making a tree, making a river, anything he makes, and he's just super talented at it. I mean, he's really got a knack for it. And I've watched him when he makes his trees. Of course, again, he does everything in HO, which, you know, I call you HO railroaders, or you're amateurs. You want to be difficult, you want to challenge, and then do all this little bitty stuff in N scale. Nah, you guys, this is just too much fun. Okay, I'm gonna plant some more trees. I'm not gonna sit here and just make you listen to me jabber and watch me poke holes in the board and cuss because my trees are leaning. So I get finished up here, some more landscape, and I'll be back. All right, well, I'm a long ways from done with it. But this gives you a look at where I went with everything. Far cry better than what this is looking like. Okay guys, well, I don't think I'm gonna make it a part 2 to show what I finished, because I don't know when I'm gonna finish it. But I am gonna be posting a lot of videos and updates coming up. I'm kind of in a rush, a little. I want to finish that end, and my deep water side still needs a little bit of finishing. The lighthouse needs some finish, and there's a spot right up here in the top. Finish. You know, in model railroading, you never finish. But I want the majority of the landscape, the hard stuff that the kids probably can't do. 4 months is my goal. I got to get that done. That'll be my 70th birthday. And so I'd kind of like to have the layout all done for my 70th birthday. And then, of course, I've still got storage tanks and stairs, and I've got cars that have lights in them, and that it'll go on and on. You guys know that. I'm going to be doing an upcoming video over homemade stuff, re-railers, camera cars, and I'm going to do have a little episode in there about static grass and the applicators that most of you are not going to like to hear it, but it'll be fun to watch it. And then I've been asked by 2 or 3 people that are getting new into the business how to do this, how to do that. They're watching a lot of videos. So I may try to do a little series for beginners. Gosh, I've been in it, like I said, I'm fixing to turn 70. And my first train set, I was 9 years old. So that's how long I've been doing trains. It's changed a bunch. And even when I watch other guys' videos, and like I said, there's just some great YouTubers out there. Mark, like I said, Luke Towns, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Just a super detailed person. Ron's Trains and Things. So much good information he's got out of there. The DCGuy, and I'm sorry, I don't even know his name, but that's his channel, it's the DCGuy. Has great information, but highly technical. I've got engineering degrees and was electronic warfare specialist, and I get lost in some of the stuff he talks about. So I can kind of see where a lot of new guys getting into this and they watch these channels, and it could almost be discouraging because they're just not grasping it until this is a hands-on thing. If you're not a hobby person and you're doing stuff with your hands, you're not learning it, and this is how we learn it. And to watch some of these videos kind of be overwhelming too. So I think I'm going to do a little series of how-tos for idiots, beginners. You just don't know, and just give little tips and tricks. So those will be coming up. But like I said, my next video is going to be slam dunking some issues with static grass, and then how you can make your own things that you can't buy. And that's what's to say, the necessity is the mother of all inventions. Well, live in the Philippines where you can't buy anything and you learn to make everything. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please head back a like and subscribe and the bell.